In a world that never stops moving, where success is measured by speed and peace is traded for productivity, most people are running from silence, running from themselves. But Alan Watts, one of the greatest philosophers of the 20th century, revealed a truth that most of us have forgotten. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is nothing at all. Today we dive deep into the wisdom of Alan Watts, into the philosophy that redefines what it means to live, to breathe, and to simply be. Because staying at home isn't just about being inside four walls. It's about returning to the center of your being, facing the person you've been avoiding all along, yourself. Alan Watts believed that the chaos of the modern world comes from our constant attempt to escape reality. We escape through noise, through technology, through endless plans and goals. But when we finally stop, when we truly stay still, life begins to reveal its quiet power. So let this not just be another video you watch. Let it be a reminder that peace isn't found out there. It's found right where you are. Welcome to Why Staying at Home is Powerful. Alan Watts Philosophy. Part 1. The Power of Stillness. Alan Watts often spoke about our obsession with movement, how we mistake busyness for purpose and noise for meaning. He said we seldom realize, for example, that our most private thoughts and emotions are not actually our own, for we think in terms of languages and images which we did not invent. When you're always surrounded by motion, work, traffic, conversations, distractions, you start to lose the sound of your own soul. You begin to live as an echo, not a voice. But when you stay at home, when you stop chasing, something extraordinary happens. Silence begins to speak. Watts described this silence not as emptiness, but as fullness, an infinite field of awareness where you start to see life as it is. The walls of your home, once symbols of isolation, become mirrors of your inner world. The stillness you feel is not loneliness. It's life inviting you to listen. In stillness, you learn to observe without judgment. You begin to understand that peace is not something to be found, but something to be remembered. It was always there, beneath the noise, beneath the rush, waiting for you to notice. Watts taught that this stillness is where your energy resets. It's where your mind stops fighting life and starts flowing with it. He said, muddy water is best cleared by leaving it alone. When you stay at home, truly stay, you allow the water of your mind to settle. And when it does, clarity comes naturally. The more you sit in silence, the more you realize that life doesn't need your constant interference. The flowers still bloom, the earth still turns, the sun still rises. The world doesn't collapse when you stop moving, it heals. And so do you. Part 2. Returning to yourself. Staying at home is not about confinement, it's about connection. It's about reconnecting with the rhythm of your own heart, the simplicity of being alive. Alan Watts believed that we've forgotten how to be. We know how to work, how to strive, how to want, but not how to rest. How to simply exist without demanding something from every moment. When you slow down, when you stay home and let your mind rest, you begin to meet yourself, the self behind your name, your job, your identity. And at first that meeting can be uncomfortable, because silence brings up everything you've buried, the doubts, the fears, the insecurities. But as Watts said, the only way to make sense out of change is to plunge into it, move with it, and join the dance. Instead of running from discomfort, you learn to dance with it. You begin to see that your thoughts are just waves on the surface of your mind, not the ocean itself. And the more you watch, the calmer those waves become. When you stay home and give yourself time, you start to realize how much energy was wasted pretending to be busy, pretending to be fine, pretending to be in control. Watts reminded us that control is an illusion. The more you try to control life, the more life controls you. But when you let go, when you stop forcing everything, you align with something greater, the natural flow of existence. That's the true beauty of staying at home. It's not retreating from life, it's returning to it. It's understanding that the peace you've been chasing through people, success, or travel has always been here, quietly waiting for you to stop running. Watts once asked, what if this world is not meant to be taken seriously? What if your home is not a prison but a temple? A sacred space where you don't have to perform. You don't have to impress, you just have to be. In this realization, everything changes. You begin to move differently, think differently, love differently. You stop seeking approval and start feeling gratitude. You stop fearing the future and start embracing the present moment. Because this stillness, this now, is all there ever is. Part 3. The illusion of the outer world. Alan Watts often said that our biggest misunderstanding is believing that the world out there controls the peace in here. We chase after the perfect job, the perfect relationship, the perfect place to live, always believing that happiness lies somewhere else. But Watts turned that idea upside down. He said, the meaning of life is just to be alive. It is so plain and so obvious. And yet everybody rushes around in a great panic as if it were necessary to achieve something beyond themselves. When you stay at home, this illusion starts to fade. You realize that the outer world was never the real source of your peace. It was only reflecting the state of your inner world. The moment you stop chasing, you start noticing. You notice the sunlight filtering through your window, the rhythm of your breath, the quiet hum of existence that has always been there, patiently waiting for your attention. The outer world is not your enemy. It's your mirror. When you feel chaos within, you will see chaos outside. When you feel calm within, the same world suddenly becomes peaceful. Watts taught that we project our inner states onto the world around us. That means the best way to change your world is to change your mind. In staying home, you start to detox, not just from noise, but from illusions. You realize that success, comfort, and validation don't come from the external. They grow from the internal. And once you find that stability within, no outer chaos can shake it. You can live anywhere, face anything, and still carry peace inside you. Watts believed that once you understand this, freedom begins. Freedom from comparison. Freedom from fear. Because you stop measuring life by what you get and start feeling life for what it is. Part 4. The Dance of Life. In the philosophy of Alan Watts, life is not a problem to solve, it's a dance to join. He said, we thought of life by analogy with a journey, with a pilgrimage which had a serious purpose at the end. But the thing is that it was a musical thing, and you were supposed to sing or dance while the music was being played. When you stay at home, disconnected from constant motion, you begin to hear that music again, the music of your own existence. You start to see that there is no final destination, no finish line where life suddenly becomes perfect. Life was never about arriving, it was always about being. In the stillness of your home, this truth starts to unfold. You begin to live more intentionally. You make your tea slower. You listen deeper. You breathe fuller. You stop living for the next thing and start living this thing, the only moment that truly exists now. Watts' philosophy breaks the illusion that we must be constantly progressing. He reminds us that growth doesn't mean motion. It means awareness. And awareness can only happen when you are still enough to see clearly. When you stay home, you are given that chance to slow down and witness the dance of life happening all around you. Every sound, every flicker of light, every heartbeat becomes part of a grand symphony. And for the first time, you realize you were never separate from it. You were never watching the dance, you were the dance. Watts believed that once we realize this, our suffering begins to dissolve. Because suffering comes from resistance, trying to make life something other than what it is. But when you stop resisting, when you accept the moment exactly as it is, you flow, you dance, you live freely. So staying at home becomes a sacred act, a return to rhythm, a surrender to the natural pace of existence. It's not about doing nothing. It's about doing everything with awareness, with grace, with presence. Part 5. Becoming the Observer. Alan Watts often described awakening as the moment you stop identifying with your thoughts and emotions and start observing them. He said, you are an aperture through which the universe is looking at and exploring itself. When you stay home away from distractions, this truth becomes real. You start to notice the voice in your head, the one that never stops talking, worrying, analyzing, but instead of fighting it, you begin to watch it. You realize you are not that voice. You are the awareness that hears it. This is one of the most powerful transformations that can happen in stillness. Because once you recognize yourself as the observer, you become free from the drama of your own mind. The thoughts come and go, but you remain. Emotions rise and fall, but you stay centered. Watts believed that in this state, life becomes lighter. You stop trying to fix everything and you start feeling everything. You stop judging experiences as good or bad, and simply let them pass through you like clouds moving across the sky. When you live this way, peace becomes natural. You don't need to meditate for hours or chase spiritual perfection. You just have to remember who you are. Pure consciousness, experiencing itself for a little while through this body, this mind, this life. Staying at home gives you the opportunity to awaken to this truth. Because when you strip away all the movement, all the roles, all the expectations, what remains is awareness. And awareness is freedom. Watts taught that enlightenment is not about going somewhere else, it's about seeing clearly where you already are. It's about realizing that the peace you seek has always been right here, in this quiet moment, in this stillness you call home. So when you stay at home, you are not missing out on life. You are meeting life in its purest form. You are not avoiding the world. You are embracing the universe within you. And once you understand that, you will never fear solitude again, because solitude is not the absence of life, it's the essence of it. Part 6. The freedom of letting go. Alan Watts often reminded us that the heaviest burdens we carry are not physical. They are mental. They are our constant attempts to control life, to predict outcomes, to cling to people, places, and plans. He said, the more you try to control things, the less control you will have. Let go, and you'll find yourself in harmony with the flow of life. When you stay at home, you're given the space to see this truth clearly. You begin to notice how much of your daily energy is spent trying to manage the unmanageable. We plan our lives down to the minute, fearing that if we don't, everything will fall apart. But Watts reminds us life has always been flowing perfectly, with or without your plans. The trees don't struggle to grow. The rivers don't force their direction. The stars don't hurry to shine. Everything moves effortlessly within its own rhythm. When you stop resisting that rhythm, when you let go of your need to control, something magical happens. You align with the same effortless flow. Your anxiety begins to fade. Your mind becomes lighter. You begin to trust life again. Watts called this Wu Wei, a Taoist idea meaning effortless action, doing without forcing. It doesn't mean being lazy. It means being in harmony with what is natural. When you live this way, your actions carry more power because they come from presence, not pressure. And that's the hidden power of staying home. It's not withdrawal, it's surrender. It's choosing to let go of the chaos you can't control and finding strength in simplicity. You start realizing that the world doesn't fall apart when you step back, it continues just fine. And more importantly, you begin to heal. You start to breathe deeper, sleep better, and feel lighter. You realize that peace was never something to be earned. It was something to be allowed. Watts believed that real freedom begins where control ends. When you stop demanding that life fit your expectations, you discover that life is already perfect in its imperfection. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means giving in to the beauty of the present moment. In this letting go, you stop fighting with existence and begin to flow with it. And that is the purest kind of power. The power of peace. Part 7. Becoming one with the moment. There's a moment in every journey of self-discovery when the boundaries begin to fade. When you no longer see yourself as separate from the world around you, but as part of its living, breathing movement. Alan Watts called this awakening, the moment when the I and the universe are no longer two things. He said, you are something the whole universe is doing, in the same way that a wave is something the whole ocean is doing. And when you truly stay still, when you stay at home long enough to listen, you begin to feel this truth in your bones. The air you breathe has moved through trees, oceans, and clouds before reaching your lungs. The water you drink has traveled through mountains and rivers for centuries before touching your lips. The light you see comes from stars millions of years away. You are not just in the universe. You are the universe experiencing itself as you. In this realization, the walls of your home dissolve. You are no longer staying in. You are expanding out. Every sound, every heartbeat, every flicker of light becomes part of you. Watts believed that once we experience this oneness, fear begins to disappear. Because fear only exists when you believe you are separate from others, from nature, from life itself. But when you see that everything is connected, you realize there's nothing to fear, nothing to lose, nothing to fight against. When you stay home with awareness, you're not isolating yourself. You're tuning in to the vastness of existence. You begin to see your thoughts like ripples on the surface of a cosmic ocean. And the more you observe, the more peaceful you become. Alan Watts said, "To be alive is to be in constant transformation. To resist change is to resist life itself." So you start flowing with life instead of clinging to what was. You embrace each moment as it comes, knowing that this moment right now is enough. Not because it's perfect, but because it's real. When you live this way, every ordinary moment becomes extraordinary. A cup of tea, the sound of rain, the stillness of morning, all of it becomes sacred. Because you're no longer waiting for life to begin, you're living it fully, fearlessly now. Ending. The peace you were searching for. And now, as we reach the end of this journey through the wisdom of Alan Watts, one truth becomes clear. The peace you were searching for was never out there. It was always within you, quietly waiting for your attention. Staying at home was never about walls or distance. It was about returning to yourself. It was about realizing that you don't have to escape life to find peace. You have to embrace it exactly where you are. Watts once said, "Stop measuring days by degree of productivity and start experiencing them by degree of presence." That's the essence of his philosophy. It's not about doing more. It's about being more aware, because awareness transforms everything. The noise of the world will always be there. But once you've touched stillness, once you've felt the quiet strength within you, the noise loses its power. You begin to move through life with calm, with balance, with understanding. So take this message with you. When the world feels heavy, when life feels chaotic, when everything seems uncertain, stay home. Not just in your house, but in yourself. Return to the stillness within you, where peace has always been waiting. Because when you truly stay home, you don't withdraw from the world, you awaken to it. You don't lose connection, you deepen it. And you don't stop living, you finally start living fully. This is the power of staying at home. This is the wisdom of Alan Watts. And this is your reminder that sometimes the quietest moments hold the loudest truths.